Welcome, actors. It is so great to have each and every one of you here today. We call ourselves screeners, so welcome, screeners, to today's free acting class.
Most actors are taught that every scene needs an emotional change. And for the most part, that's true.
Yeah, but casting wants to see you change from one emotion to another or escalate or de escalate emotion, and they think that's all the time, but not necessarily.
They don't want that in smaller roles. They don't want that in smaller roles or day player roles that are labeled by the title waitress, cop, thug number three, nurse number two. That's not even a character with a name. That is a character creating environment. They want to see that you can play the role convincingly with behavior, but they don't want to see nurse number two go through an arc like starting frustrated, becoming flirty, and in the end being devastated. A lot of actors want to show their range and develop their original character for every role they create. Understandable, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, that's not what the script is asking for, right? And it's not what casting or production wants.
That's so true, Donna-Marie. It's not what they want at all. Hey, I'm Casey, your acting and audition coach. I'm living my dream life coaching actors from a little cabin in the woods with 2 dogs, 3 cats, 100 chickens, and assorted humans.
That's right. And I'm Donna-Marie. I'm your mindset and visualization coach here at Screen Acting School. When I'm not traveling the world, I'm in the big city. I love dance, people watching, and really great coffee.
We were just having a coffee talk before we got
You sure were.
online today. Together, we coach actors who go from absolute beginners to walking the red carpets at the Emmys, Golden Globes, and Oscars like they did this year.
Yeah, and if you like the work we do here, go ahead, hit subscribe on your YouTube channel so you don't miss a thing.
So we got a little evidence from some casting directors for you. Allison Jones, who cast The Office, Parks and Recreation, Freaks and Geeks, and is just generally an amazing human being, says about smaller roles. For me, I go by the essence of the person, and I almost don't even hear dialogue because line readings in an audition are almost meaningless. That's Allison Jones, one of the most influential casting directors working today. And that is what she's actually looking for in the audition room or online. She also talks about how incredible it's been for her to meet so many new actors through self tapes. So her world is broadened through self tapes. But what she is looking for is specificity, point of view, and the feel of the character.
Yeah, absolutely. So I bet all of the actors here are wondering how to create a castable audition for a day player character, Casey.
I bet you're right, Donna-Marie. Is everybody wondering that? How do I do it if I'm not doing an emotional change? How do I create that character? Well, I'll tell you how. Do you remember last week, for those of you who were here last week, we talked about the moment before and the first moment that you have to show up as the character in that moment. And if casting doesn't see it, they move on. Well, it's like we said before, it's not because they're they're sucking the life out of you and they're vampires and they hate you and they're heartless. It's not that at all. And it's not because you suck. It's because they're busy. They've got to move on.
Yeah, 100%. So that applies here too, right? So
Mm.
we
Yeah.
talked about how you need to get casting to fall in love with your character right off the top, the first 4 to 10 seconds. And we cannot emphasize that enough, you guys, okay?
We can't. And I'm just going to pop this in the chat because Ali was asking about what the three things were. So specificity, point of view, and the feel of the character.
Yeah. And we talked about how the actors who book don't blend, right? So what do you do if you're not creating an emotional change?
Well, I'll tell you. So, for example, right now in Audition Plus, we're working on cop roles. And I know this is a lot of work for everybody in an Audition Plus. The cop role is very challenging. And when you're playing a cop role, like if you're playing cop number one, for example, who doesn't have a name, we need to see cop behavior right away. The key to capturing casting's heart is real, truthful, compelling behavior. They should see you in the first 4 seconds of your 5 line and under audition and say, I knew it was them. I knew it was they were the cop the minute I saw them. Then you become the one that they always want to cast because you are reliable. And behavior is a way for your character to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So you need to know how your character behaves in their world. And then you need to bring that into your body.
Yeah, 100%. If they can name your character in the first 4 seconds, you're winning. Let's do
Absolutely.
it.
So the behavior you create should move throughout the scene with you. So it's part of the character, it's who they are. So we're going to take you through the standard 5 lines and under characters, and you'll be able to audition for roles like this, mostly when you first start out, but sometimes you keep playing them for a little while. So you'll rehearse the behavior, you won't have emotion, you won't have an emotional change, you'll just have behavior.
Yeah. And a few characters that you're likely audition for could be like the hurried nurse, cop number two, maybe the plumber, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here we have the hurried nurse. I think we have some nurses. I know we have some nurses that we're coaching. I don't know if we have any nurses here right now, but this is the hurried nurse. So she's overworked, she's competent, she's time compressed, obviously, she's in a hurry. She's already mid-task when she enters the frame. So the minute you enter the frame, you're doing your work. Your eyes are scanning before you even land on the subject. You're like watching to find out what problems you might have. You're answering a question, perhaps, like your line could be the answer to a question. So you're answering that while you're doing something else. You're typing, you're checking out a chart, you're changing an IV. Sometimes actors will change the IV, then talk, check the chart, then talk. No, you want to do it all at once. We're human beings and we do, pick things up and talk at the same time. You want to interrupt yourself because something else needs your attention. Oh, I've got to go over here. You're going to speak fast, but you're going to be controlled. You're going to be efficient. You're not panicking. This is your job. And you leave before the conversation feels like it's done. So you're off to see the other thing. This person's priority, this is a key truth. This person's priority is the next patient. The next patient. Does this make sense to everyone?
Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it does. And then how about the seasoned cop, right? They've seen way worse than this and they don't need to prove authority. So they're still on entry. They take in the room before speaking. There's minimal movement. Their weight is grounded. Their hands are relaxed but ready. And they let silence do the work before asking a question, right? They listen without reacting and then they respond simply.
Mm.
And when they end that conversation, when they end that interaction, they do it decisively, no emotional lingering, right? So the key truth to this is that the officer has nothing to explain and nothing to rush.
So you can see here, you would be the person in the background as the 5 lines and under roll. That's cop number 3. These other guys have names, but cop number 3 doesn't.
Mhm.
So you've got to think of yourself as supporting these people. I want to talk about the plumber who likes their job. I had a neighbor when I lived in Vancouver who was a plumber, and he loved his job. He was very comfortable in himself. He was proud. He was unfussy. And I think when you watch people who work in the trades on TV, you see that. You see that these are people who are looking at the problem first. They're not chatting with you. They got to go do work on the problem. So they might touch or gesture towards whatever issue that is going on in the scene while talking. They're totally casual, very confident. You wouldn't see them unless it was a part of the scene. You wouldn't see them kind of selling up the work that they need to do. Then they would just explain it plainly. You're good now, kind of energy. That's the guy. And I can see people nodding. Like
Yeah.
you probably know this guy, right? He likes to solve problems. He or she likes to solve problems. They're not impressing people. And really, if you look at this image right here, the line is probably being directed to the toilet. You're probably not even going to see, the audience is probably not even going to see your face or very much of your face. That's the role. Your role is to just be the world of the character.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And listen, actors who don't book are usually trying to create an Oscar-winning performance for a one-liner.
Yeah.
They're trying to find an emotional change where there just isn't one.
And the actors who book, they arrive mid thought, like describing the nurse, right? She's talking her way through the scene. The mid thought, you're letting your behavior lead the role, and you're 100% committed to the character and the story. And that's where the behavior comes from.
Yeah, and that's why you will book more now too.
Yeah. I mean, this should change your life immediately. But there's
Mhm.
something that a lot of actors don't do. It's a part of the prep. Sorry, I still have COVID and
That's okay.
it's
We
making me
forgive you,
cough a little bit.
Casey. You're doing good.
Thank you. You prep the scene, but you don't prep the given circumstances.
Yeah, and the given circumstances include everything, right? Everything you see, taste, touch, hear, smell. Your body reacts instinctively. So, for example, the plumber might reach out and touch the pipes that are sweating, right? And the nurse might see the yellow in a patient's eyes. And the cop might hear footsteps behind them and stand a little taller. So, casting doesn't necessarily see what you see or feel what you feel, but they believe it's real because you do.
Yeah.
Now, remember, the brain doesn't know the difference between an imagined experience, right, and a real experience, what's going on outside. Your brain reacts to imagery and your senses in the same way that it reacts to reality. So if you vividly imagine the room you're in, what you're there to do, and everything you react to with your senses, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if it's actually happening. So your heart rate changes, your breath shifts, your posture adjusts, your muscles respond, right? And we prep your behavior because behavior is telling casting and production this is a legit plumber, cop, nurse, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah. And that's why casting directors will say, I knew it the minute they walked in the room. I knew it. They were the character and it just felt right. And there's a bunch of questions here. We'll answer them when we get to the end. So if we haven't
Yeah.
answered them, let us know and then we'll come to you.
Yeah, wonderful. And that's totally it, Casey. The behavior brings it home. It makes it real, right? So it's mental first, physical second, then the text last.
Yeah. Does this make sense to everyone? Create it in your mind first. Yeah. Inside
Mhm.
Audition Plus, this is what we train: behavioral specificity. So getting really specific about those behaviors, mindset and visualization alignment, archetype clarity. Everyone knows we love that.
We
The
love the
moment
archetypes.
before prep, the emotional connection, the core four choices, and of course, creating killer callbacks.
Yeah, 100%. So casting doesn't have to imagine you in the role. They
Yeah.
just see you, right? They see you as that. And that decision happens, as we said, in the first 4 seconds.
So last week we worked on the moment before. This week we're working on small roles and behavior. And next week we're going to work with, and I think you're going to really want to be here for next week. So schedule us in. Not that you wouldn't, but we're going to work on you creating a moment after that intrigues casting and makes them want more of you. This is
Yeah,
a vital one.
it really is. And listen, what you're learning here matters a lot.
Mhm.
But insight alone doesn't change careers. So, Audition Plus is where we teach you how to do this consistently and professionally. So, how to walk into auditions ready, how to create those first moments that get you cast, how to make choices that actually hold up in audition rooms and in self tapes. Now, as you know, we're selective about who we accept because we only want to work with passionate, dedicated actors. So we ask you to fill out our written screen test and tell us everything. We want to know your experience, your fears, your goals, all of it. So I'm going to pop that link in for you now. And if you'd like to be considered for Audition Plus, you can go ahead and copy that and fill out our screen test. Give me 1 second because I lost you all. There we are. I'm
I
back.
see some really good questions in the chat.
Oh,
Who will
I'm
answer those?
excited. Absolutely.
Did you find that, Donna-Marie?
I did. I'm popping that in right now. Just bear with me.
Fabulous. We'll get it in for you, SD.
There you go. It's in. Technical difficulties. So you can go ahead and copy that now. And listen, we don't guess at what will bring you success. Okay. We coach you on it.
Mhm.
So if we invite you in, it's because we believe in you and we're prepared to do the work with you. And your dream isn't silly to us. We know sometimes people don't believe in it and you get laughed at, but we do. We do believe in your dream, and it's our mission and our responsibility. And we take that very, very seriously. So I'm going to pop that link in one more time, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at some of those questions, do a quick Q&A, and then we'll say that's a
Great.
wrap.
Yeah. And there's some really, really good questions in there. Oh, thank you, Chloe.
Chloe said this is the
Chloe,
best
you're just the best. We love
community.
you as well. Mwah. Right back at you, sweetie.
Yeah.
Can we email privately if you have specific questions that aren't related to today's topic? If it's not coaching, so we're not going to give you private coaching. Oh, Diane didn't find the link, Donna-Marie. Maybe we could pop it in one more
I'll
time.
pop it in one more time. Absolutely.
So, sorry, we won't do private coaching um, for free and in chats. So if you have a question that we can answer and help point you in the right direction, absolutely. But if not, no, that's something that goes beyond doing.
And ask here. We may be able to help you now. So if you have a question,
Oh, what a good idea. Yeah, I just ask it here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So I want to scroll up and see the questions that people are asking. And if I miss it, just let me know, okay? And then I'll ask again. Um, is it okay to ad lib lines for the moment before? And a couple of people have answered that yes, but then cut them out so that they don't see them. It's a little improv is really good to get yourself into the moment, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, cut it out. A couple of people answered that question for us. Clever girls that they are. Yes, absolutely. Do it. And what I recommend actually is even just doing a whole moment, like a whole scene that comes before and roll right into it. So, if you're working in a restaurant or something, pour a couple people some coffees, go over to the till, do whatever it is that you would be doing in a restaurant, and then start the scene as if you're just coming back from getting plates and putting them down. So what do you have, kind of thing. And it'll just feel really legit. Excellent
Uh,
question.
Chloe says it sounds exciting to play these roles. They're so important, even if they're not big. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Right. It creates the world. You're supporting
Absolutely.
those main characters. 100%, Chloe. How would I or how do we get committed to the character?
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
So what Donna-Marie was talking about, Justin, about getting into the character through your senses, and what I was just talking about doing a little improv, gets you into the character. So if you're trying to get to the behavior of the character, start doing things that the character would do. So like I was saying, if you're a waiter or waitress, you're going to pour coffee for a bunch of people. Just, get people in your kitchen or whatever, or just put out some cups and mugs and start to imagine that. You all have the benefit of YouTube. So you can, if you have to play a plumber, you can watch somebody doing a plumber thing, like whatever that might be, like getting a wrench out. And my sister did this to fix her own toilet, and she is as far from a plumber as you can imagine. So you can get into those behaviors. You can listen to people talk, see what their rhythm and cadence is of their speech, so that you can create that for yourself. There's so much you can do. But what Donna-Marie was talking about getting into the sights, the sound, the smell, the taste, the touch, that is creating the reality of the character for your life. So that's what you need to do.
Yeah, 100%. And in Audition Plus, well, this month we're working on cop roles, right? We will be working on nurses and other types of roles that you see commonly in film and TV.
Yeah.
And my role in that is to create that visualization for the classes so that you can get into that character easily. And then you have it, right? You've got it to fall
Yeah.
back when you need it. So really, really great. Virginia says my first union audition was for The Flash as a nurse. Yeah, 100%, right? It's a common one, Virginia.
There you go. I will
Absolutely.
say it's not enough to just sign up for the class. You've actually got to do the work. So it's not enough to just imagine when Donna-Marie is telling you to imagine things. You've actually then got to put it into the work.
Mhm.
If you do it, you become a very um, powerful actor because you're not waiting around for someone to spoon feed you how to do this. You're creating it for yourself, but you absolutely have to do the work.
100%. And I'm going to touch on a question that Jess has asked. She said, in
Okay.
regards to classes, if you have limited funds at a time, is it better to pay for classes where you learn the business side of acting, like headshots, reels,
Oh
etc.,
my God.
acting classes? So actually, Jess, the truth of the matter is you need both, right? Um, you can know as much about the business as you want. If you don't understand the acting craft, it's not going to help you, right? And vice versa, right? It is show business. So you need to know both aspects, which is why in Audition Plus once a week, we have office hours, which is an open Q&A session where you can come and ask all of that. So it could be, hey, I'm getting headshots, or I got new headshots. I'm not really sure which one to pick. Can you help me out with that? Or I have an audition and the breakdown says this, but I don't really know what it means. Can you give me a little bit of guidance? Or it could just be a question on the work that we're doing in class that week, right? So it can be absolutely anything like that. So we work weekly on the business side as well as the acting side, and all of that is included in Audition Plus. So yeah, great question.
We do actually have a class coming up called How to Start Acting that would answer all of those questions. So that might be an option for you. I would say that getting into Audition Plus is going to be more beneficial for you in the long run
Mhm.
because we carry both aspects in that class. And I also want to point out that this reminds me of a conversation you and I had, Donna-Marie, about with an agent, and she had two clients. One of these clients, and I'm not suggesting you be like one or the other of these clients, but one of these clients would get back to her on time all the time, was really respectful, um, and had a schedule for everything that they were doing, all this kind of stuff. And the other one was never getting back on time, was had her head in the cloud, was always dreaming, was always imagining things. And guess who booked more? The one who was dreaming and imagining things. It does not help you to use um, the
Log.
secretarial side of your brain. You can learn all that stuff. Like Donna-Marie's saying, it is the business of acting. It is show biz. But if you don't develop your imagination and learn to see things through your senses and create worlds through stories, then you getting the yes, it's good to return your agent's email on time, and you should, but that's not going to book you roles. What is going to book you roles is being in the world of your imagination,
Yeah.
getting into that immediately, if not sooner.
100%. Really, really great point,
Yeah.
Kate. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wonder, oh, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff pop up. Imagination, perseverance, confidence, and trust. Yeah, totally, Richard. Oh, Laura says Audition Plus has really helped me learn the biz.
Oh,
Fantastic, Laura, and we love watching you
fantastic.
grow. Shakti says, I love Audition Plus. Well, we love you in Audition Plus,
You
Shakti.
know, oh, it sure means Audition Plus is the most amazing place to be. It teaches you about instilling principles and exercises that work for audition. However, it is beneficial when you achieve a role applicable to all the areas of the actor's role. That is so sweet. Thank you, everybody,
Yeah,
for saying those things.
thank you. Thank you. It's so
Yeah,
wonderful.
live your life as an actor. Absolutely, Shakti. So Brian's got a follow-up question. Show up for the free classes and then make the decision if you feel this is good fit for you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah,
Yeah. Like an
that's why
audit.
we do it.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%, you guys. Absolutely.
Jessica had a question about, I just want to answer this question. Jessica, was your question the question about the plane? The mother who finds their daughter has died on a plane? Is it like a small role like that?
No, my question was the one about if you only have directors asking you to read for main roles instead of side characters, but you don't book them. It was higher up.
Yeah, so the
If it's a good
that is
thing
a
or a
very
bad
good question. Um, do you have an agent?
thing. No.
Okay, so are you submitting yourself for smaller roles?
Yes, but the thing is, all of the auditions I've gotten are from open calls or cold emails, and when it's time for them to call back, they only want me read for a main character role, and I'm never asked to read for a smaller role. I get like one or two callbacks, and then I don't book.
Well, you're doing really well. You're doing really
It's
well.
a good
Getting
thing.
callbacks is a really big deal. A really big deal. You need to learn how to act, so you should be in acting class. I know, I know that financially that's not always possible. So, hmm, I'd really like to be able to help you. But what I would say is, are you in our script club?
I don't think so.
Okay, sign up for that after. If you can't find it on we don't put it anywhere because I invite people, but um
Oh,
message me and I'll get you that. What you need to
okay.
start doing is reading scripts and get together with a bunch of actors. And I always hesitate this because when you get together with a bunch of actors, they're usually either hypercritical and really mean in their critique, or they're way too nice. Brian is like me, I'm the awful one. Um,
Agencies have expressed interest in wanting to sign me, but they said that I need to go get to pay to get a demo reel done first before they can submit me.
um, if they want you to do that with someone else who's not related to them, that may be true. But you need to put a demo reel together. But first, you need to learn how to act. So what I want you to do is start reading scripts and get together with people and read them together. So find some other actors in you're in Sri Lanka, right?
No, I'm from Trinidad and I've been acting since I was
Trinidad,
7.
Trinidad. Okay. You're in Trinidad and you've been acting for a while?
Yeah, since I was 7, and I started taking classes when I was 12. So
Okay.
6 years.
Okay. So you've been taking classes. I think this is becoming more of a coaching session. So I'm going to say that
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. You're doing okay. You need to put a reel together, 3 scenes that are 30 seconds each. You can do them yourself. You can do them audition style, put them together and submit them to an agent and see what they say. But you do need to um, up the professionalism. But getting callbacks, Jessica, I don't want you to feel like that's like that you're in a bad place. You're in a good place. You're going to move forward from here.
Yeah.
It is going to get, but I would like to see you in class.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I thought that was a bad thing that I wasn't booking but only getting called back for like lead roles.
That's
No,
not a bad
Because it's
thing.
for
That's you
Disney
learning.
specifically, I'm talking about.
It's you
awesome.
learning.
You're doing great, Jessica, and fantastic. Thank you so much for that question. I'm going to move on quickly because we are running out of time. But
Thank
SD
you.
you're so welcome. SD has asked what time on Thursdays and how much. So, SD, I don't know your full name, so I'm just going to refer to you as that. On Thursdays, office hours is at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then you have a live class following that at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. And as far as the cost goes, there are different price points depending on what you register for. So if you are interested, you can go ahead, fill out our screen test, and if we feel like you're a good fit, we will send you all of that information. So I've popped that link in one more time. You said thank you. You're so welcome, SD. It's absolutely my pleasure. I'm going to pop that link in one more time, you guys, and then I'm going to say that's a wrap for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're going to love you and leave you, and we'll see you on screen.
You on screen.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.